Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're mapping out the enterprise AI journey. Look, we hear about artificial intelligence constantly, right? It's literally everywhere, in the news, taking over our boardrooms, and for sure reshaping our daily workflows. But separating that massive wave of hype from a concrete, actionable business strategy, well, that is the real challenge. So today, we're going to break down exactly how an organization moves from just, talking about AI at the water cooler to actually transforming their entire business with it. Let's get into it.
I want you to start by asking yourself this one specific question. Where is your enterprise on its AI journey right now? Like, really take a second to think about it. Are you guys just testing the waters with a few chatbots to write emails? Or is AI deeply integrated into how your company actually delivers value to its customers? Getting a clear, totally honest answer to this is the absolute first step toward making any meaningful progress.
To help us answer that, we're going to use this visual roadmap today. It essentially captures the entire spectrum of enterprise AI adoption in one single view, charting the exact path from initial awareness all the way to massive, measurable impact. We aren't just talking about abstract pie-in-the-sky technology here. We are talking about moving from mere ideas to quantifiable business value, the kind you can actually take to the bank. To make sure we cover all of this effectively, we've broken our explainer down into 4 structured parts. First, why AI matters today. Then, the 5 maturity stages. Third, building your key capabilities. And finally, making your journey count.
Okay, Section 1, why AI matters today. Before we can even start mapping out the how, we have to firmly establish the why and the stakes for your business.
The source material lays out 4 critical, undeniable reasons why mastering AI is totally non-negotiable for modern enterprises, and honestly, they all feed right into each other. First up, you need to drive growth by unlocking entirely new revenue streams and massive efficiencies. But you really can't do that effectively unless you empower people, using AI to augment their human skills and basically boost everyday productivity. And as you start moving faster, you absolutely must manage risk. You do this by building total trust through strong governance and responsible AI practices. Ultimately, nailing those 3 things allows you to stay ahead, innovating faster than the competition and securing your place in the market.
Which brings us to a really powerful reminder. Data tells the story, you drive the impact. It is so incredibly easy to get lost in the algorithms, the data sets, and all the tech jargon, right? But this perfectly illustrates that human strategy is the real engine here. The technology provides the foundation, sure, but human leadership and human decisions, that is what actually generates those critical business results.
Moving into Section 2, the 5 maturity stages. Now that we know the stakes, let's shift from the visionary why to the highly practical roadmap.
So the crucial point here is that you can't simply, buy off-the-shelf AI, plug it in, and instantly be at the finish line. Every single organization has to evolve through a very specific, sequential journey. You travel from early awareness and simple experimentation all the way to continuous optimization and total business reinvention. It's literally like learning to walk before you run a marathon. Skipping steps? Well, that usually just leads to failed projects, burned budgets, and honestly, a whole lot of internal frustration.
Here are the 5 core stages of that journey. Notice the action verbs here: exploring, experimenting, embedding, scaling, and optimizing. These are not passive states where you just wait for things to happen. They require active, deliberate momentum to push an enterprise forward. Let's break down exactly what happens in each of these phases.
Let's start with the first 2. Stage 1 is exploring. Think of this as your sandbox phase. You're focused on early awareness and individual productivity. You're basically learning, playing around with simple pilot use cases, kind of just getting a feel for the tools. Once you have your bearings, you move to Stage 2, experimenting. Now you're leaving the sandbox. You're actively running pilots in controlled scenarios, making sure your data is actually ready, and proving that specific use cases work. And most importantly, this is where you're building crucial internal confidence among your teams before you try to go big.
Once that confidence is there, the real transformation kicks off in Stage 3, embedding. This is where AI meets humans, and it requires a massive focus on change management, process integration, and upskilling. Honestly, this is often the hardest jump to make. Then you reach Stage 4, scaling. You take those embedded wins and roll them out globally across different business functions, relying on strict governance and scalable platforms. And finally, we hit the gold standard, Stage 5, optimizing. Here, AI isn't just a side project or some handy tool. It's the core engine of continuous business reinvention. You're delivering relentless AI-driven innovation and highly measurable outcomes.
The entire goal of moving through those 5 stages is basically to execute this simple, yet incredibly difficult transition, moving from ideas to business value. But to successfully travel through those stages, you're going to need the right vehicle.
Which brings us to Section 3, building your key capabilities. If the 5 stages we just looked at are the map, well, these capabilities are the engine driving you forward.
And this is a totally crucial insight for any focused learner looking to implement this. A maturity progression requires leveling up across 6 underlying enterprise foundations simultaneously. You absolutely cannot reach stage 5 optimizing if your internal culture or, say, your data architecture is stuck all the way back at stage 1. They have to mature together, in lockstep. Let's look at the absolute peak, the level 5 end state goal for each of these capabilities. First, strategy and vision. This means AI is core to your long-term roadmap, not just some trendy add-on. Second, your data foundation has to be fully trusted, accessible, and perfectly governed. Third, technology and tools. This requires a modern, scalable, integrated platform. Fourth, for people and culture, you need an enterprise-wide AI-first mindset with highly empowered teams. Fifth, governance and risk. You must ensure responsible, compliant, and trusted AI at all times. And finally, business value ultimately means proving sustained impact and maintaining a razor-sharp competitive edge. It's a heavy lift for sure, but you have to build all 6 of these muscles at the exact same time.
Section 4, making your journey count. We've got the map, and we know how to build the engine. Now, how do we synthesize all this complex information into immediate action? The source material gives us a beautifully simple 5-step checklist to guide our day-to-day actions. Think of it as a continuous cycle. 1. Plan your approach strategically. 2. Learn the necessary skills and fully understand the tools. 3. Practice by testing out concepts in safe, controlled environments. 4. Build robust, scalable solutions based directly on those lessons. And 5. Succeed by measuring and celebrating that impact, which, in turn, fuels your next plan. It's a continuous, iterative loop.
And to tie it all perfectly back to our 5 maturity stages, here are the overarching directives you should take away from this explainer today. Explore, to actively find new opportunities. Experiment, rigorously, to validate their real-world value. Embed those successes deep into your workflows to actually create impact. Scale them across the enterprise to grow with absolute confidence. And finally, optimize relentlessly to truly lead the future of your industry.
As the roadmap clearly states, success is a journey. Make it count. Adopting AI is not some one-time software installation that you can just set and forget. Not at all. It's an ongoing, highly deliberate process of total organizational transformation. It requires immense patience, a sharp strategy, and a relentless commitment to leveling up those key capabilities year after year. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take back to your teams. Look at where you are on that maturity scale right now and ask yourselves, will your enterprise ultimately lead the future, or are you going to be stuck just experimenting with it? The roadmap is right there in front of you. The rest is up to you. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer today, and keep learning.